Hello, listeners who are coming to the audio story channel in today's story reading session. Medea will send you a short love story called Love Story by the Brick Kiln. And what is the content of this story? Right after that, please listen to it. While he was busy admiring, his eyes met Mrs. Binh's wide-open eyes. She was startled. A group of people covered their parts with their hands and shouted loudly, "What are you doing? Why are you peeking at me?" "You didn't peek. I went out to get some water and accidentally saw her." "What are you doing?" "I was both scared and angry, but Mrs. Binh couldn't do anything." "Come in, you just hang around here." "How can I take a bath?" Mrs. Binh said. Then she poured it over and put on her clothes. She began to show her unhappiness on her face. She sullenly set out the tray of food and went straight to the shack, not wanting to eat anymore. Mr. Hai also felt guilty, so he went in and called her. "Old lady, eat your meal." "I just did it by accident. I didn't mean anything by it." The horn sounded to signal that the clock had reached 5 o'clock. The workers began to clean up the scene and prepare their clothes to go home. Mr. Hai went around for a while and then sat down to make broken bricks, sipping a cigarette, and after taking a few puffs, he heard a voice calling out, "Uncle Hai, are you in there?" Mr. Hai quickly went outside. His eyes turned to the edge of the pond where a woman about his age, dressed in dirty, sloppy clothes, was standing there. "I'm here. Who are you looking for?" "I'm Hai, Uncle Hai. Can I ask you a little bit? Is your brick kiln still recruiting? I heard that your kiln is looking for a helper. Where are you from?" "I'm from the fire village. I'm having a hard time, so I want to find a job. My place was already recruiting yesterday and someone has started working. Wouldn't it be better if you came earlier?" A disappointed face appeared. The wind rose on that haggard face. "Please do me a favor, Uncle. Can you let me work in any position?" "I can do any job." "It's so hard, Uncle. I don't have money to pay for school. I don't have a husband or children. They beat me all day long. I'm so miserable. I beg you to let me work." Mr. Hai looked at Mrs. Binh thoughtfully, hearing those complaints. He softened a bit. He tried to think about whether there was any suitable job. She looked at a weak person like this. Could she do anything? Brick kiln work is all hard work. "Well, how can you do it?" "It's very hard, brother. I'm a farmer's daughter, but I can do anything as long as I have money. Chu, no matter how hard it is, I can endure it." Mr. Chu mumbled and said, "Okay, you just come here. Women have to find a job that suits their ability. Why do you go to a brick kiln? Here are all men." Mrs. Binh followed behind, her face blank, showing helplessness with life. "No, it's not bad. We've asked everywhere, but there's no job, so I had to come down to where you asked. I'm not afraid of hardship, I'm just afraid of my child." Hungry with my unfaithful man, just sat thinking for a while, then he answered, "Now there is only work left, helping me with meals and drinks. Occasionally cleaning the camp, collecting some bricks and socks. If you can do it, then do it. I have no work left." Hearing that, Mrs. Binh was happy like a lifebuoy. At this moment, her eyes flashed with sparks. "Yes, if it is like that, then it is great, isn't it, Uncle? As long as there is a job for me, that is great. I just hope that you. If it is the season, let me take a few days off to take care of the fields, Uncle." "It's okay. That's the same here. Everyone will be off to work during the season. As for the salary, just work. I will calculate it later, but I'll tell you in advance that the salary will not be as high as a worker's. As for meals, just eat and drink here comfortably." Mrs. Binh: "Thank you very much. The salary at this time is no longer important to her. It's simple. She thinks that having a job means having money. Okay, you give me the job. The salary is very good. You can pay me any amount." "But Mrs. Nam, this year, how old are you? How did you know there was a brick kiln here that you came?" "Yes, I'm 45 years old. My life is hard, so I look like that. These past few days, I've been going everywhere to find a job. I wandered around the market, and someone introduced me to come here to sit and talk for a few more sentences." Mrs. Binh asked for permission to leave. Mr. High saw her off to the end of the street and conveniently closed the kiln gate. "Did you walk home? I thought you left your bike out here." Mrs. Binh bowed her head and replied, "Yes, I don't have a bike to ride. I just took a shortcut across the field to get here. Tomorrow I'll go to work earlier." Mr. High seemed sympathetic and said that I'll go to work from tomorrow. If you don't mind, you can stay here. There's still a room next to mine. Stay here and sleep so you don't have to work until you're done. When will the National Guard get home? You're so good to me. Thank you very much. If that's the case, that's great. I'll ask to stay here. My children are grown up and can take care of themselves. As for my husband, I don't care about him. Money for it is fine, so if there is a place to stay, then wait for me to ask to stay, then I will be happy, Uncle. I will come home once in a few days. Then Mrs. Binh came back with joy. She found a job. Work for yourself. After a few days of struggling at this time, finding a job is very difficult, not even enough to eat. So how can you say that you are working for hire, Mrs. Binh is also very lucky to have a job like this. She is excited to go home, so her children will have money to pay for school next year, will have money to buy supplies, and she has more income to buy rice to serve her husband at home. Only in his early 40s. But looking at her, she is no different from other women. Her dark, haggard face also shows more clearly her real life. Fortunately, God has compensated her with a strong, healthy body. Otherwise, she would look no different from a hungry ghost. Married since she was 17, she has experienced all the bitterness of life since the day she got married. She has not had a single day of joy. Her husband is a worthless man, so her married life is no different from hell. Luckily, she has 2 children to support her mentally. Otherwise, she would have left the country a long time ago for Mr. High. Then life would be quite good, better than around these communes. There are only a few brick kilns. The kiln his family built is the largest and most extensive at the moment. Any house that has a brick kiln is very rich and also creates jobs for many people. So the reputation of the brick kiln owner often has a voice in society. But unfortunately, his married life is not as smooth as his career. He and his wife lived together for more than 10 years. Then she left for someone else. At that time, he had nothing in hand, so he was alone. He raised 2 children to study. He built his career. Now he is over 50. His children are grown up and working for the state. He has been single since then. When he is bored, he has dated Kay with some widows in the commune. But when he gets bored, he immediately withdraws. It has been more than a year now. He has not thought about any woman, and in the kiln there are only boys. So he also hopes that this time, when Mrs. Binh is hired to work, everything will be more joyful than the first day she went to work. And Mrs. Binh always shows herself to be a hard-working person who is devoted to morning work, comes then sorting bricks near noon, then go to the market to cook rice to serve Mr. High in the afternoon. It happens like that. In the past, when she was not there, Mr. and Mrs. Binh did that work themselves. Now that she is there, he is free to supervise his kiln, the workers of Mr. Tawan's house are from this village afternoon. They all go home to eat until the afternoon. The appearance of her makes the workers feel excited, although she is not as beautiful as Cam, but she is also a woman. So she is cared for by the men, very attentive and teasing. She is also the type of person who is good at eating and talking, so she is liked by everyone. Everyone in this brick kiln, Mr. Hi. So it is also fun to have someone to keep you company. Then ask occasionally the food is delicious and clean when the hut in the camp is now neat. The clothes, he changes. Mrs. Binh does not mind taking out to wash right away in the evening. Mr. High lies in the large hut next to the brick kiln area while Mrs. Binh sleeps next to the hut near the well, or the hut is only a few steps away. The old workers just invite him when there are women serving her to the teeth, like this is so great. I don't know if she will pamper him from A to Z, but Mr. High just smiled because I know they are just teasing. But Mrs. Binh is so ugly, who would want that kind of thing? Seeing her hard work, Mr. High also loved her. He had feelings from the first days. The things she brought to work were only a few sets of clothes, and they were patched without being patched at all. and the pajamas were no different from the work clothes she wore. So he loved her again. The next morning, while going to the district market to buy spare parts, he immediately stopped by to buy her a few sets of clothes. Waiting for everyone to come back, he called Mrs. Binh out. Here, I bought you some clothes. Leave them there. Change them instead of wearing those sets of torn clothes. Wearing them over and over again like that. No wonder she doesn't look old, Mrs. Binh was surprised and couldn't believe her ears. Why did you buy clothes for me? Oh my God, I don't dare take it. I have to save that money to send to my children. Please understand me. Tomorrow I will bring it back to me. It won't be in your salary? Why should you be afraid? Take it, but change it. Looking at her dressed like that, I don't like it, Mrs. Binh has been like a piece of wood for more than 5 years now. She hasn't known what a new set of clothes is like. She didn't expect there to be such a good person in this world. Why are you so good to me? This place also requires a lot of money. How can I accept it? I thank you very much, but it's not two things. Take it and change it. After saying that, Mr. Hai walked into Mrs. Binh's shack and was stunned when he held in his hand several new clothes. She was so happy that tears flowed. Her hands shook as if she was about to drop the clothes she brought into the room to look at them and try them on. Trying again and trying up and down, she didn't expect that one day she would be able to wear such beautiful clothes after bathing. She put them on. Right away, the new set of clothes. A smile was on her lips from the time she put them on until she ate after everything was ready. She called Mr. Hai to come eat. She just worshipped her face, lowered her eyes, had something shy because she was embarrassed to Mr. Hai that she was wearing new clothes. Seeing that, Mr. Hai immediately smiled. See? She wears clothes like this and looks different. She looks clean and tidy, making her look a few years younger. Either Mrs. Binh was shy and couldn't say anything. She lowered her head. She just did it. Somehow she wasn't used to it. She was afraid that people would laugh at her. You weren't luxurious, and yet you were dressed so flashy. I was so embarrassed. How could I be embarrassed? It was me, no one else. So I was embarrassed. Look at her today. It's completely different from how she looked a few days ago. Wearing like this, men would like that. His words made her even more embarrassed. From that image, Mr. Hai thought about Mrs. Binh more. Although her face was ugly, the good thing was that she was still neat. That outfit accentuated the curves of her body, and every part was far from that part. He had to sympathize with him. He had been deprived of women for many years now that someone was there to take care of him. How could he not think of the opportunity to come? He himself couldn't believe that he was thinking dirty thoughts about Mrs. Binh. But he couldn't stop. Every now and then, he would look at her while working at night. Then he would lift the curtain and look at her shed, which was lit up, feeling so lonely. For a long time, he had been urged to think perversely. But he had to admit that Mrs. Binh's morning was also quite beautiful. That's why Mr. Hai was shy to look at her like that. In this brick kiln, there was no bathroom for men. So Mr. Hai usually just stood in the water jar to bathe. There was no need for a bathroom. But since Mrs. Binh came back, there had to be a place for her to bathe. She couldn't just sit there and paint. He could only temporarily film her with a few bamboo mats. Covering it up was only temporary because it was possible that his brick kiln would be moved at the end of the year. The new location made Mrs. Binh very shy every time she went to bathe, because she could see clearly from the outside, but she thought that there were only 2 people here. Mr. and Mrs. Binh were the bosses, so what did they care about? This old, ugly, dirty woman. So she was carefree, but Mr. Hai's thoughts were different. She was embarrassed, but she wasn't ugly. A man standing next to a woman without having dark thoughts seemed to have a problem. Lonely, so those thoughts kept lurking. In his head, every time he heard the sound of water from the bathroom, his heart skipped a beat. That curiosity appeared in his head today too, after the workers had finished work for size. Hai went to take a bath first, then turned to sit at the table drinking water. Seeing Mr. Hai finished taking a bath, Mrs. Binh brought her bathing clothes, saw her carrying the bathing clothes. Mr. Hai felt uncomfortable standing from the outside. He could also see the arm was undressing. At this time, curiosity began to arise. He gently bent down, crawled behind to find a bag of ideas so he could see through that gap. He hid behind the tree mouth agape. Looking inside, a vivid image appeared before his eyes. He himself did not dare to believe that it was Mrs. Binh. Inside was a person completely opposite to the blackness of Mrs. Binh. Usually her bathing actions made Mr. Hai crazy spit swallowed his chest. He could not think that Mr. Hai cleaned a brick kiln but had to go spying women bathing like this. And then there was the woman. The old man who worked for him was busy sighing when his foot stepped on a dry branch. It made a sharp sound that startled Mrs. Binh. She shrank back and sat down on the ground, covering her eyes. She felt that someone was watching her. "Oh my God, I'm here. I'm picking up some firewood branches. Bring them in to cook. Go take a bath. Oh my God, why are you hanging around out there? Don't look in here. Missing you scared me. Go inside so I can take a bath." Mr. Hai coughed and argued. "Go take a bath. What am I looking in there for?" After that, I went in. Dinner became quieter. Mr. Hai had something that was hard to say. He wasn't as funny as usual. Mrs. Binh was still convinced that Mr. Hai had seen something of hers, so she kept hesitating. "Maybe you'd come back and give me the bathroom. It was all exposed. I feel so embarrassed when I take a bath. Who is there to be afraid of? There is also a bowl of noodles here with you. If it hits your eyes, it is nothing. I ask you honestly. Did you see anything just now? I am so embarrassed." Mr. Hai chuckled as if he wanted to tease Mrs. Binh. "I saw it all, so it just hit my eyes like that. What can I do?" Mrs. Binh heard that, and her face turned red. "Oh, I am so embarrassed. Next time if you see me bathing, please alert me. I don't think it is very convenient." "Oh my God, what is the big deal? If I saw it, then you didn't lose anything. Beautiful flowers should be left for others to see." Mrs. Binh's panicked face is not good. "You know that it is very inconvenient for me to be here. After all, I am a woman. If it weren't for food and clothing, I wouldn't dare." Mr. Hai didn't say anything more, just kept his face down to eat. He still smiled. Mrs. Binh felt like she had lost something. She was also very afraid, men and women being together like this. I don't know if something will happen. But thinking about it, her situation, her children, so she kept her mouth shut. She endured it. After the meal, Mr. Hai kept his eyes on the shack. Mrs. Binh's heart kept urging something. His instincts flared up again. He wanted to run inside to do something. At night, he lay down to sleep. But he didn't force himself to think about Mrs. Binh's image. That body kept lingering. In his mind, he couldn't imagine that under that shirt was such a beautiful person. His desire suddenly exploded strongly. After long years of loneliness and silence, lying on the other side, Mrs. Binh today also naturally nagging and couldn't sleep. She started to worry. Mr. Hai's eyes tonight made her feel uneasy. She felt that something bad would happen. If this situation continued to happen regularly, she would definitely become Mr. Hai's prey. Mrs. Binh was right to be afraid. I have always been a hardworking woman. Dang Hoang's personality never knew what a butterfly was. She even had to keep her mouth shut, let alone her body. In real society is very strict in that men and women just need to show a little bit of exposure to be beaten the price of flirtatious count right away. Then she never wanted to be such a woman. The next afternoon, she paid more attention when she went to take a bath and saw Mr. Hai sleeping neatly, smoking in the hut. She dared to go, but the sound of fear of water still attracted Mr. Hai's attention. It kept urging Mr. Tien to come closer. He went straight to the well area. It was only a few steps away from the bathroom. The sound of water, still rustling. The sound of Mrs. Binh's scrubbing, standing a few dozen meters, still heard the brand new floral clothes being spread on that bamboo core. The gap, then the toe, to Boji T. Another image appeared today. Mr. Hai saw closer and clearer the things that needed to be seen, also completely hid his eyes. He led his steps to a halt, his wandering eyes like the eyes of a soul not understanding himself. Why was it like this? He had never had to stalk like a thief like this, but today he had to lower himself to peek at a hard-working maid who was busy admiring when his eyes met her. Round eyes, Binh was startled. A group of people covered their parts with their hands and shouted loudly, "What are you doing? Why are you peeking at me?" "You didn't peek, you just went out to get some water and then accidentally saw her. What did you do?" I was both scared and angry, but Mrs. Binh couldn't do anything. "Come in, you're just hanging around here. How can I take a bath?" Mrs. Binh said. Then she said it casually and put on her clothes. She began to show her displeasure on her face. She sullenly set the tray of food and went straight to the shack, not bothering to eat anymore. Mr. Hai also felt guilty, so he went in and called her. "Come out and eat." "I just did it by accident. I didn't mean anything." Mrs. Binh thought for a long time, not knowing how to face it. If I make a fuss, maybe I'll lose my temper and he'll fire me. Then it's almost time for my son's school term. If I don't bring money home from work, my husband will chop me into 100 pieces. In the end, she had no choice but to go out and eat, thinking to herself, "It's dark before I dare to take a bath." But like this, will I the day he jumped in and dumped the basket, so this dinner became heavier. The atmosphere was not as alive as during the day. Binh buried his face in eating to get through the meal. Mr. Haithi ate and stole a glance at Mrs. Binh to satisfy his frustration. That night, he lay awake all night, unable to sleep. He was upset that Mrs. Binh was right next to him at this moment. His emotions kept urging him to do something. He couldn't stand it anymore, so he sat up, grabbed the flashlight, and went straight to Mrs. Binh's shack. He risked knocking on the door a few times. Mrs. Binh was startled and shouted, "Who's here? It's me. Are you asleep yet? I'll come in and talk for a bit. It's already nighttime. Why are you coming in here? If there's anything, then let the ghosts talk. I won't wake up at this time. It's the middle of the field. You're still like this. I'm so scared. I have something to tell you. I've been lying there for a long time, unable to sleep. Open the door." It seems that at this moment, Mr. Hai has turned into a different person. The beast is controlling all of Mr. and Mrs. Binh's actions. They clearly sense that something bad is about to happen. Out, but also out of respect, had to go open the door. Mrs. Ko put on the Western iodine to cover up the bad places. Mr. Hay then went straight inside and sat down at Mrs. Binh's workshop. "What happened that you called me last night?" "Don't scare me." Mr. Hai kept staring at Mrs. Binh's eyes straight up with desire when he couldn't control himself anymore. He rushed in to hug her Mrs. Binh quickly ran around behind him. "What are you doing? Why are you trying to play tricks on me? What else do I have that you want to do this? You desolate demonic body." "I also want it, bro. I'm sorry, but bro, I'm so upset. I can't sleep for years, and you keep appearing in my mind. I can't stand you. Please, please me. What kind of person do you think I am? Go out quickly? I don't agree. I come here to work and earn money. Not do anything bad. You should keep your distance from me. If you go too far, I'll quit. My job, I don't think you're that kind of person." So Mr. Hai still aimed lightly around Mrs. Binh, his eyes burning with passion as if he wanted to swallow her right away. "Right now, just please me a little bit. Just once, okay? Let's say it's helping you. Okay, I'm begging you. I'm not that kind of woman. Don't think I'm the type to be easy. I'm ugly like this. So I hope you don't think about those things. I'm not ugly. I'm very beautiful to you. I'm very beautiful. I saw you once, but you kept thinking about me, talking and talking. But Mr. Hai didn't change. He still turned his expression towards me, His hands kept going behind and hugging her tightly, following B. She was so loud. Go out, I'm not kidding you. If you don't go out, I'll scream, and if you feel like you want to find someone to solve it, then find someone else. Tomorrow I'll quit. Her strength didn't discourage Mr. Hay. He wanted to take advantage of her by all means, but the milk was so lonely. Even if she screamed loudly, it wouldn't work. Who knows, the elders said. If you don't do something wrong, fire will catch fire after a long time. In the past, Mr. High was so calm and proper, but now he's showing it off. The loss of that trait seemed to be no longer a normal person. People were interested in beautiful, delicious young girls, but he wanted to be close to the old farmer woman below. The situation seemed impossible, and he didn't want to force anything. So Mr. High started to turn to Van Dew to coax her. He grasped Mrs. Binh's weakness, which was that she needed money, so he brought out material things to hope for her to exchange and please her. He will pay so that you will suffer. I will take care of whatever you want. What's wrong with you? The first few days you were so decent, but today you are so bad. If anyone knows about this, I will probably die. Go out. I am already an old woman. I have children. Please me a little. What's the loss? Here, it's just us brothers. If we don't say it, who will know? Please me. From now on, just stay here and take care of the meals. I won't let you go to collect VC anymore. You also have more time to visit your children. I will double or triple your salary to give you the maximum favor. What else? Mrs. Binh stood close to the wall, her face still not over the fear, but hearing those words of his, a part of her also felt soft-hearted. But she could not easily agree so rudely, not seeing Mrs. Binh's reaction. Mr. High again provoked her. She should think for herself a little. She should know how to enjoy a little. After all, she is a woman. She also wants to be loved and abused. But if her husband is like that, he probably won't touch her even once a year. Just consider it as me helping you do your duty in that matter. That saying has touched her right acupoint. She must admit that since the day she got married, she has not had a single moment of happiness in her life. It seems that her father has forgotten about sex in the past. Having an indifferent husband is like no. It's not that her husband thinks she's ugly, but because he's a drunkard, that ability has also been exhausted for a few years now. Partly because life is too hard, working day and night. Where is the energy to think about those moments? And sometimes, when the wind blows, she gets excited too, craving that feeling, but thinking about fate. She clicked her tongue and let it go today. Mr.
Oj, jeg ser det der så går. Nå, det var bare fem, altså. Når jeg er sikker på noe, de heter en dokker for den siden. Siba, og nå det kan das, and oh, det går vel. Good. Må fadre ra en mentos special og terrin ready ga hot da helba in a nicroke to all his hunt to our sky this is sugar glad. It's not for farm.
High's awakening power. Perhaps by the time she died, she wouldn't have thought that she had ever been a woman, seeing her face starting to droop. Mr. Hay attacked harder than me. But to please you, it doesn't cost anything. Just getting money and being served and loved by many people out there, I hope you flirt with me and pay me back. Even if I keep it, my husband will still be a bastard to me. I have the Hoang Tiet Han party, but I won't make any money. Let me try it once, Mrs. Binh remained silent. Her face was blank. Her confidences and Mr. High's straightforward words appeared like knife cuts, Mrs. At this time, she was not angry with Mr. High, but was hating her old husband at home B. The old man who made her suffer and suffer, humiliated like this. It's almost the school year. I also have to have some money to buy my child new clothes and this and that. If you accept, I will take care of that for you. Okay, I'm back here. You just think about it, Mr. High left, leaving Mrs. Binh sitting there in the dark. At this time, she didn't know what to fear anymore. She didn't think about the value of her character. He was right. If she could please him, she wouldn't lose anything. She would get more than that, but the conditions he gave her were not good either. Mrs. Mo couldn't do it. Poverty made her feel uneasy, making her discouraged with this life. This was the first time in her life that someone had made such an offer. She had never dared to think that an ugly woman like her would be paid by a man just to help her solve that problem. Was it Thino, or was he Trifio? I thought I got a good job and met a decent boss, but after a few days, the situation has become like this. She has to fight a lot for money that is making her lose direction. If she does not accept his conditions, she may have to quit her job. Where will be the money to take care of her children? Where will be the money to buy rice to support her family life? If she agrees, she will have a light job with more money to take care of her children. Her salary will also increase. Her husband will no longer torture her, and more importantly, she will be young. Again, something that she has been buried for the past few years, something that she will no longer have the opportunity to enjoy again, because her husband does not have that ability. She is lost in thought. Whether to quit or become a concubine is up to her to decide. But it seems she has found the answer for herself, lying there thinking she fell asleep without knowing it. The next morning she started with her work. She and Mr. High still talked normally. Both of them considered it a thing. Last night, there was nothing. The meal had not become heavy, even though they tried to make everything as comfortable as possible. But the eyes of the two still flickered with something that was very difficult to escape. Then in the afternoon, everything went on as usual, even though she had planned to take a bath in the evening, but she didn't do it anymore. She still took a bath at the same time as usual, not bothering to pay attention to whether Mr. High was lurking outside or not. It was like an answer to Mr. High's request. Mr. High was still attracted by the sound of water in the bathroom. He still peeked, but today, standing further away from dinner seemed a bit more comfortable because he felt that Mrs. Binh was leaning towards him, so he happily asked about everything and even picked up food for Mrs. Binh. The atmosphere around became more stuffy. No one mentioned anything about last night. With his experience, Mr. High was sensitive enough to sense Mrs. Binh's thoughts, and also answered for himself whether he had any luck tonight or not. After the meal was finished, Mrs. Binh cleaned up and went straight into the shack. Mr. High sat outside drinking water and shouted out, "Tonight, my wife and I will come over." "Hud I have a little work to do, remember, Mrs." Binh did not answer, but went straight inside. Mr. High was delighted. He sat and sipped his tea. Then he imagined the atmosphere tonight, imagined the sweet moments that he had not tasted for a long time. At about 9 p.m., he went inside and lay down, waiting for something. 30 minutes later, there were footsteps. It was Mrs. Binh's footsteps. Then she walked in with a very sad face. "Uncle called me over here. Do you have anything to do?" Her short words were like an opening sentence to the good evening greeting. She knew very well what she was doing here and how things would turn out. "Just sit down here, Mr. High." He opened the storage box under the bed and took out a small box from underneath. It turned out to be a gold necklace. He did not hesitate to hold it and walked towards Mrs. Binh. She said that she had probably never worn a gold necklace before, right? She said that her trembling voice made Mr. High laugh. "Do you want to wear it? I gave it to you." "No, I don't dare accept it. I just came in. I haven't done anything yet, so how dare I accept this gift? You haven't done anything yet, so what's wrong with doing it now?" After saying that, he put his arms around her neck and put the necklace I gave her on her. "Consider this the first greeting gift. When she pleases me, not only will she be able to build a necklace, but she will also have it. Oh, I can't accept this gift. Do you know that I can make this necklace for the rest of my life? I don't need you to make it for the rest of your life. Just talking to you every night is enough for you to get it. As for the things you told me, I still give them to Mrs. Binh. She's so happy. Now, I can't think about morality anymore. I've put all my dignity aside. It's true that money can blind people. No matter how much personality they have, they can still be tempted. How much is important, that's all. Seeing Mrs. Binh happy, her face filled with admiration. At this moment, Mr. Hai began to attack. He hugged her tightly and kissed her on the forehead. Binh now has her arms and legs down. It's been a long time since she's been touched like this, but the reward behind is so great that it makes her unconditionally soft. Now, Mrs. Binh is obedient like a puppy, lying motionless on Mr. Hai. How can she repay him now because she's someone who hasn't had much experience with that and he's not her husband, so she's shy about it. No matter how rude Mr. Hai is, she keeps pulling him up. She's afraid that people will see her and she's embarrassed about it. She's very self-conscious, but with Mr. Hai's vast experience, that's not difficult. The skillful skills shown by Mr. Hai make Mrs. Binh no longer shy or bashful. It seems like there won't be any more men to admire in her life, but now the brick kiln owner has taken possession of her. Then she begins to immerse herself in happiness. Mr. Hai has used all his skills. Mrs. Binh is not a bold person, nor does she like to entertain flirts, so she's very shy. She just lies there, eyes closed, hands holding tightly onto the straw mat. If it's not for money, then even if I die, I wouldn't dare do anything bad. Mr. Hai was like a hungry tiger devouring the delicious food after days of dreaming, and today it came true. It had been a long time since he had done that, so today he was somewhat in a hurry. Mrs. Binh also felt how happy she was. They just kept on fighting with each other. In the last few minutes, they didn't even keep their distance anymore. They were so attentive. Do you like doing that? Are you like my husband? You're old, what else do you like? It's all just duty and responsibility. It's a little tiring, but you still enjoy this. You know that Mrs. Binh is lying, but he didn't twist anything more. Looking at that face, he understood that you're just going to please me tonight. From tomorrow, take me. Don't try to seduce me anymore. I don't like it like that. Then you just have fun. Tomorrow, we'll talk about it later. Mr. Hai rushed into the fun again. It's true that the older, the ginger, the spicier. His cunning made Mrs. Binh have to say it all. They felt very harmonious. Her life had never been able to enjoy happy moments. This blessing is over. This round after another round. The first round, then the second round, Mrs. Binh was caught up in the love affair without realizing it. The gentleness began to be shown by her. Both of them only stopped when Mr. Hai was tired. Then they just lay next to each other until the next morning. After this night, Mrs. Binh felt a different experience with men. She felt loved and respected when she was with Mr. Hai. She thought he would be rude, but no, he was very gentle and considerate. Because of that, Mrs. Binh began to have feelings for him. More importantly, after tonight, her N was awakened. She felt that doing that was happy and she was satisfied. She was a real woman for once, and from then on, she continued to live with Mr. Hai. Her mouth kept saying I, but her heart was very urged. Occasionally, she also came back to visit her children this time because she saw that her wife was pretty and dressed better than her children, so she didn't have to worry much about money. Her husband went out, she went to work over there. Lately, she hasn't been home much, okay? Where's the money? Give it to this guy to go drinking quickly? She looked at her husband for a moment. Then she took out the money. Her old husband only needed money and alcohol, and he didn't care much about anything else staying at home with his husband and children for a day or two. Then she missed Mr. Hai. She had to go back to Mr. Hai. Right now, she didn't think much about her dignity anymore. She got used to being loved by Mr. Hai. Trio got used to being with him every night. She still worked hard, still came back to visit her husband and children, still brought Mr. Hai's allowance money regularly. Her life then turned to a new page. She couldn't even imagine many times thinking back on herself. She wondered why she was so tight. She knew her family would never find out about her husband's affair. She knew her husband wouldn't know she had betrayed her husband, but in her heart she still felt guilty. But circumstances pushed her into such a situation every time she came back to visit her husband and children. seeing the desolation. She felt she couldn't accept it. She endured and sacrificed her innocent life so that her husband and children could have a life better than the past time. Mr. Hay considered her no different from his wife. He took good care of her, worried about her, provided her with valuable money so that she could gradually feel secure here, and that bed thing was indispensable to her. Sometimes Mr. Hay did not need to take the initiative. She was the one who suggested that. She did not know when she changed, but life always had unexpected endings that were attached to Mr. Hay. After more than 2 years, Mr. Hay was sick enough that he could no longer manage this brick kiln. His children also wanted to take him home to take care of him. In the end, the brick kiln had to be sold. The two of them parted ways in a farewell party. Mrs. Binh returned to her original life, working in the fields again. She ventured into jobs around the village that people hired her to do, but her current life was also more comfortable. During those 2 years, Mr. Hay provided a lot of money for her to have a better life than the day he sold the brick kiln. He also gave her some money so that she could use it to make a belt when she was sick. He also told the new owner to keep her and keep her a stable job, but she didn't want to stay there anymore. Simply because Mr. Hay's absence left a big void. I don't know when she had feelings for him. She was very sad when she had to part with him, but there was no other way. She didn't know whether to blame him or be grateful to him. He had turned her into a bad woman, but he had also given her a new life. After everything, only memories remained. Both of them put it in the past and still kept feelings in the corner of their hearts. They were drunk people, but from a certain perspective, they were not guilty. It was all due to circumstances and the times. Thank you and you for listening. If you find it interesting, please like and subscribe to the channel to support Medea. Hello, and see you again in the next stories.